Hello, it's Steve again, your YouTube English teacher, back with more Cambridge B2-C1 videos. This time a level test, but I'm doing it my way. It's a real level test. Unfortunately, it is not just 20 very easy questions that you probably already learned in school. It's some real grammar. It's a B2, mostly B2, but you know these B2 exams are made of some easy, some more difficult questions to really test your level. So if you follow all these activities, keep your score. At the end, I will tell you what level you are probably at for the reading and use of English, which, let's be honest, is the best marker of your language for these kind of exams. We're starting with use of English part 1. It's a vocab test. You need to read this text about memory. Memory man. It's very interesting. Choose the best word that fits, pause the video and do it now. You have paused the video, here come the answers. You need to keep a record of, as I always say in my videos, the ones you got right, great, 1 mark. The ones you got wrong, listen to my explanations. I am telling you why it's wrong. I'm telling you what you need to know for this kind of B2-C1 level. So the answers are, number 1, aware. You are aware of something. Of was the clue. Number 2, you have no idea that something is happening. To have no idea that this is to have no idea. Number 3, you base things on knowledge. You base it on. The clue is knowledge on which to base. Number 4, consists of. Of is the clue, it consists. Number 5, this is more like a vocab question. We're talking about stages of a process of memorizing something. Number 6, you store things in your mind. This is the word that means to keep them safe for future use. Number 7, a vast amount is a collocation. And number 8, every single thing is an expression. You have a total out of 8, which you need to write down. Any you got wrong, why did you get them wrong? Make a note of it, listen to what I said. Any you got right, great, you're a genius, well done. So total out of 8 for part 1, but that's just part 1. Let's move on to part 2. This one is a text about a visit to a sweets factory. Pause the video, complete the blanks. You have no options. We know by now, little grammatical words, in, on, at. Those are the kind of words you need. Pause the video. Here come the answers. Mark them if you got them correct. Say why you didn't get them correct. If you didn't, listen to me. Number 9, as or while. We need the marker of time. Something is happening while something else is happening. Number 10, a factory like this one. We need one word that means a factory similar to this one. Number 11, what? The thing that. This is exactly the thing that children dream of. Oh, a sweets factory, of course. Number 12, we need a relative pronoun, liquid, that, or which ends up as sweets. Every now and then, that's just an expression, which means occasionally, sometimes, every now and then. Number 14, you were a child. That's an easy one, isn't it? And number 15, since 1999, we say since a point in time, don't we? And number 16, one of the reasons, that fairly easy expression. Okay, total out of 8, keep your score. The total is going to be out of 30, by the way, so we're over halfway there. Well done. Let's move on to part 3. We know what part 3 is. You need to transform the word in number 17 for the gap in number 17. It's the word formation part. So you need to form a word based on this so that it fits the sentence. How am I still explaining this? You know how to do it. I'm just killing time. Pause the video, answer the questions. And the answers are objective. You need to be objective. And a job description. You make decisions about your personality. I mean, I'm not explaining these because these are just ones you need to learn. These are really common words. I've got other videos about use of English part 3, but just learn them. You would unconsciously favor people. How would you do it? We need an adverb, and from the context, it's negative adverb, unconsciously. Ease, really common word that I've used in my videos before. Variety and enthusiastic. Okay, total out of 8. So far we're out of 24. We're nearly there for the use of English. Keep a record of your score. Part 4. You need to complete the sentence so that it means the same thing as the sentence above it, using the word in bold, using a maximum of 5 words for these examples. Take a minute, pause the video. This requires some thought. This is why this level test is different, because you actually have to think, but then it's also more satisfying, isn't it? As with most things in life, the more work you put in, the better the result, the more satisfying the result. Here come the answers. Number 1, To continue is to carry on walking. So ing, that's 1 mark. For 1 mark for on walking, and 1 mark if you know that despite is even though. So 1 mark for on walking, then we have this barrier that shows this is a separate mark. 1 mark for even though. 2 marks per question. You know this by now. If you have a mistake in this part, but this is correct, you get 1 mark. Number 2, almost all have gone. There are hardly any left. There are hardly any tickets left. Hardly any means, you know what it means, there's not a lot. And left, because there's none left. That's the expression we use. And number 3, is it likely? Does he have, do you think Peter has, a chance, much chance, any chance of, which a chance of doing something is ing, the gerund, for 1 mark. So the total there is out of 6, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As you know, in the real exam, there's 6 questions. I'm just doing 3 here, because I think it's more simple for a level test. So you have a total out of 6 there, which means if my maths is correct, which I think it is, you have a total out of 30 for the use of English. And I would say, the big moment, for your use of English, this is not the complete exam, but for your use of English, 24 plus, you're probably working at a C1 level. 80% of these correct, that's pretty impressive. 18 to 23, so 60 to 80%, B2, well done. 17 or less, we're probably talking B1, keep working. But at least you understood it, at least you tried it, so you're probably a B1 level. If you're watching these videos and you're below B1, great, welcome to the channel, but you're going to struggle because that's not the focus at the moment. The focus is on Cambridge B2-C1. Right, now it gets serious, doesn't it? Wow, look at that wall of text. We are going to do a quick reading part 6 for B2, which is where we have a text about a racing driver, a Formula 1 racing driver, with 6 gaps, 37 to 42, and 7 sentences that need to be put in the correct place. This text will be in the description if you are more comfortable looking at a text in your own time, putting in a document, printing it out. If you're an old boomer, that's fine as well. You know what you need to do. You need to put the correct sentence in the correct gap because you understand what it's saying. So it can only be in that place because it makes sense. Pause the video, go and do it how you want. Ask your teacher to print these for your class. Do it yourself, but answer it. Take your time, understand it. This is the real level test. Someone who really speaks English and can concentrate on a difficult text, that's the level of English that they expect for a Cambridge exam. And that is the kind of level of English and attention that you also need in the world, that good people have. I say that as an English teacher. I want people who can read things and pay attention to them. Okay, here come the answers because you've done it by now. 37, the best answer is E, because he polished the underneath of his car. Why? That's ridiculous, isn't it? No one sees the underside, the underneath, but they did it anyway because they loved being clean. 38, similar point. It's D because you normally think of a mechanic and it's all dirty, but a Formula 1 factory, it's very different. It couldn't be further, it's very clean. So the contrast is how the ideas are connected. 39, the best answer is G. It's talking about why they compete. Why do they compete? Because they need to look good for a sponsor and then they give them money. Number 40 is about the helmet, which is pricey. So that's why you take good care of it. That's why you look after it carefully. Makes sense. 41, they are collecting helmets. There must be a good reason for it. Why don't I do it? F, I should be doing it as well. There must be a good reason why they collect helmets, because there's some collectible piece of memorabilia from racing. And 42, it's about his friends that he was friends with for a long time, and these are the important ones. Sometimes you take them for granted. That should say take for granted. Well, I've copied this wrong, sorry. It should say take for granted, obviously. Yeah. Take for granted those you're closest to. You forget, that's what take for granted means. You have a total out of 12 there because each question is 2 marks. That makes it slightly easier to correct it in the end. So 2 marks per question, total out of 12. You think you finished there? You think you've done your work for today? No. You always need to do one more thing. Push yourself one little bit further. We're doing a reading part 7 from B2, part 8 in C1. 4 different volunteers, Teresa, Patricia, Helen and Kate, talk about their experience volunteering, and you have 10 questions at the bottom or in the text that I will post in the description to say which volunteer did this, did this, did this, did this. You need to say A, B, C, or D, which volunteer did it. Pause the video, and then I'm going to go through the answers. And we should have number 1, a wide choice of opportunities was A, 1A, okay? Because Teresa said there's thousands of options, there's a wide choice of opportunities. Number 2, aware of natural life, that was D. She caught glimpses, which means she could see waterfalls, butterflies, bamboo. That sounds very natural to me, so 2D. Number 3, the danger, that was C. There are birds that can take your finger off and bite your finger off. Sounds dangerous. 3C. Number 4, did not achieve her ambition as she expected. That was A again. Dream come true, but not how I envisioned. So it fits perfectly. It's a synonym. Number 5, she gained as much as she had given. That was B. I was making the park come alive for the visitors, and they in turn made Hawaii come alive for me. So she gave something and she gained something in return. Number 6, shown sympathy was D. Renee asked gently if I needed gloves. Oh, that was nice of Renee. What a nice boss, supervisor. Number 7, influenced by family. That was C. Dad's an artist. I wanted to find out more about them, the birds. Number 8, amazed herself. That was A again. I stretched myself, pushed myself beyond my imagination. So she couldn't believe what the great things she did. Number 9, appreciated the boss. That was C. Some hosts had strict rules, but mine just let me do what I wanted. He set out projects, so it's more flexible, it's not strict. Strict, flexible, antonyms. And number 10, the difficulties of the environment. That was D as well. The roots that were constantly threatening to hurt the rainforest, not the rainforest, the cocoa plantation, the cocoa trees. So there we go. There you have a total out of 10. Which means for reading, you have a total out of 22. 12 plus 10 is definitely 22. And I would say something like 18 plus for C1, which means you're only allowed a couple of mistakes on these. 13 to 17 for B2, and 12 or less, but understanding it and having a good go, B1. Okay, there we go. That's your level test. Let me know in the comments how you did, especially if you want to improve by having private classes with me. Drop me a line. Okay, that's enough for today. Goodbye.